Guess what? We're here. We're here. Good morning and welcome to the Community Chit Chat Show right here on KMBY over the air at 19.4 and on the internet at KMBYTV.com. I'm Jim Vossen, V.S. and Victor O.S.S.E.N. My special guest today, council member, let me just get this straight if I can. Do we call you a council member? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes? Not councilwoman? Is that, how do you want that?
I don't think it matters. I think we generally call each other council members.
All right. Now I'm going to get my little setup here. There you are. See, now I'm way over on the wrong side. I want to come over this side. What do you think?
Oh.
How does that look? Pretty good? Yeah, we're okay.
Fine, Jim.
Yeah. But Libby is a nickname. Is that correct?
Yes, it's my nickname, but I've been called that since I was born.
Okay. But otherwise it's Elizabeth. Is that right?
It's Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Yes.
Okay. And I didn't put that on titling. And so just to show you, I did Libby if that was okay.
That's perfect.
Thank you. See, now you look at the main screen. See that? Mm-hmm. Sand. Oh, I left a D off of sand. Oh, I got to go. I'll fix that.
Sand City. Sanity City.
Sanity. Yes. I'm going to correct that in about 2 shakes here when we take our break. Well, I apologize. How did I do that? It's called not wearing glasses. It's okay. So, good morning. How are you?
I'm well.
All right.
Thank goodness.
Thank goodness. Yes. You got your mask. Can you ever show everybody your mask?
Yeah.
It's a
my daughter. My daughter sent me a mask.
She sent you a mask. Did she make that, or is that actually something she got?
Actually, a city council member in Paradise, from Paradise, made this mask, and my daughter purchased it and sent me one and my partner Kelly Morgan.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. And
from council to council.
From council to council.
Yeah.
All right. Now, is that the only one you have, or do you have an extra one, or what do you got?
Well, I have 3 altogether.
Okay.
But I wash them frequently.
How do you wash them? Hand wash them?
Yes. I hand wash them with dish soap because dish soap breaks up the oils, supposedly, in the coronavirus.
Uh-huh.
Not that I'm going to speak like an expert on the subject, but then I usually rinse it out with a little alcohol and let it dry.
Okay. So, and how long does it take to dry?
I have 3 of them.
3 of them, so one a day. One a day, is that okay?
There's always one on the line.
All right. And now, by the way, you have 2 homes. You have one, your studio, and your living home. Is that correct?
We have 2 small houses in Sand City, right next to each other.
Uh-huh.
And we walk from one to the other because 2 people living that close during this lockdown need space.
Yes.
But yes, our offices are in the house on the corner.
Right.
And then
you're on Contra Costa, is that right?
On the corner of Ortiz and Contra Costa in Sand City.
Okay.
And then in the other house is where we argue politics and eat and do all the things people do.
All right. Now, question. So let's go back to the beginning. Where are you from originally?
I was born in Afton, Wyoming, Star Valley, Wyoming.
Wyoming?
Yeah.
Is that horse country or what?
I describe it as green meadows, and all along the edges are the wilderness. It's quite a high altitude, so it's kind of like the Alps.
Oh, okay. So how long did you live there?
I lived there until I was 18.
So you were 18.
But I also lived in Utah. We split our time between the 2 because we had to go to school and then go up and work on the ranch.
Oh, okay. You had a ranch?
We called it a ranch, yes.
Oh. Did you have animals?
We had a lot of work, and we had a lot of animals.
What kind of animals did you have?
I grew up like on a ranch. Yeah.
What kind of animals did you have?
Well, my big thing was horses.
Oh.
I got hooked on horses pretty early.
Yeah.
But, they're cattle. Mostly, right where I was born, there were a lot of dairy cattle. But we ran, my grandfather raised Herefords at the Star Valley Ranch, and that was a big ranch.
Let me apologize to the audience. By the way, Libby Sofer is from Sand City. I'm missing a D.
Right.
Maybe during the break I'll try to correct that if I can. I feel really.
But I pointed that out a couple of times.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, so you grew up with horses. I assume you rode horses.
Yes.
Okay.
I started riding horses when I was 5.
Oh.
I mean, it was a typical ranch where all us kids were labor, and I had a lot of brothers and sisters, and we all worked, and nobody had a free ride. But we had a very
unless they
good
got
life.
on the horse, then they had a free ride, right? Well, that wasn't a free
no,
ride either.
it wasn't even free for the horse.
No.
There's still labor.
Yeah. Sure. Did you grow anything?
We did. We grew alfalfa.
Alfalfa.
And,
that little kid from our gang
exactly.
comedy? Yeah.
I wouldn't have known that we didn't have power in the house or
Oh.
TV or any of that growing up, so not till I was quite a bit
How
older.
how about plumbing?
No, when I
No?
first was born, there was no plumbing in the house.
Oh.
So, but I barely remember that. I do remember when they put the plumbing in. I think I was 5 or 6 years old.
You know, somewhere in my home, I have one of those. They call them coffee table books, big
Oh, yeah.
books. Yeah, I have something about a collection of outhouses, all different
Oh
kinds.
yeah, oh yeah. And that is true that we had a 3-holer because we had so many kids.
Wow.
There are other subjects to talk about.
Yeah, I'm
but
sorry. I know.
I have to point out at Halloween, one of the fun things people did there, the teenagers, was to drag people's outhouses down the road behind their pickup truck. You know, never mind.
While they were in it.
No, hopefully not. Although there are a lot of jokes about that nonsense.
So anyway, so you were there till about 18, you said,
Yeah.
right? Then what? Then where'd you go?
I came to California.
Came to California.
I was living in Utah at that time.
What brought
I
you-
graduated high school in Utah.
What brought you to California?
A new life.
A new life.
I had to leave my relationship, and so I came
Oh.
here with my daughter.
Okay. And where'd you come? Where'd you settle when you?
I came first to Oakland.
Oakland. Uh huh.
Well, first I came to San Francisco Airport, and that was when Harvey Krishna and all the crazy hippie things were going on. So I thought I'd never been anywhere, so I actually thought I'd landed in India or something.
Oh.
It really
They were at the airport, I think. Right? Yeah.
freaked me out. But I lived in Oakland for a while, and then Walnut Creek, and then,
Oh, Walnut Creek. I
around
used to
the
live in
Bay
Walnut
Area.
Creek. Yeah. How'd you like Walnut Creek?
It was very, very hot, and I
Oh.
lived there only one summer, and then we moved to Berkeley.
Oh, okay.
And I was living with my sister.
Ah. Okay. So now I know that you were from. Oh, what were you doing at that time? You come out here.
I came out here and put myself through school. I went to Laney College first, and then transferred to College of Alameda and took dental assisting.
Oh.
The dental assisting course there. But I worked for a while putting myself through school at the racetrack as a jockey, an assistant, kind of a trainee jockey.
Oh, really?
And a
was that
groomsman.
Bay Meadows?
Mostly it meant you rubbed horses and walked horses and got to ride occasionally.
Was that at Bay Meadows?
No, that was at Golden Gate Fields.
Golden Gate Fields.
That was a long time ago. You can tell.
Golden Gate Fields.
By
Is
my
that
age.
the one kind of by Emeryville? Oh,
Yes.
Okay, that's
That's correct.
Bay Meadows was over in San Mateo area, right?
Right.
Okay, I'm sorry. So you did that.
I did that for a year and a half, and then I quit it. It wasn't a good place to raise kids.
No.
But actually, it was a very good job.
Ah.
I really enjoyed it. I just didn't get paid much.
No. But anyway, okay. So then, where'd you go from there? Did you work? Did you do the dental thing at all?
Oh man, that's quite a story. I did. I worked as a dental assistant for 2 or 3 years, and then I kind of got blackballed because I tried to organize a union.
Oh.
Because dental assistant women were not paid even $6 an hour after 2-year degree, and the men were making about $12 an hour. Of course, I got in lots of trouble for that.
Yeah.
And but
Shame on you.
I got married, and
Yes.
I helped him get through school to be an architect, and I helped him build houses. He and I built like 6 houses
Oh.
by the time we bought our place up in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Oh.
But I lived in Berkeley, Oakland,
Yeah.
Menlo Park,
Uh-huh.
Half Moon Bay.
Half Moon Bay.
Yeah.
Got to slowly work your way down here, huh?
Yeah, until we bought a ranch up in the Santa Cruz Mountains.
Ah.
A 25-acre ranch.
25
a mini
acre ranch.
Yeah. But we lived off the grid there for 14 years without electricity or
Without
anything.
electricity.
And no phones.
You had a well?
We did. We bought the land. We put in a well. Everything on the land we put there.
Ah.
And, yeah, I had a big barn, and I raised American Morgan sport horses for
Oh, really?
3-day eventing, dressage, search, and rescue.
Wow.
And that's where I started a fire department.
But you started a fire department. They didn't have one.
No, they didn't have one.
No. And I understand you became the chief. Is that correct?
I eventually became the chief, yes.
Okay. Who was the chief before you?
The person who was the first chief was Joe Craig.
Uh-huh.
He was one of the founding members.
Okay.
And after him was Barry Wuthers, and he was a long time resident there. And he was one of the founding members. There were about 5 or 6 of us who were founding members of that and continued on the entire time that the Ormsby Volunteer Fire Department was, it was called originally the Ormsby Volunteer Fire Brigade.
Oh.
And we started it independently of any other resource. So we were off the grid, seriously just working with neighbors until we were able to get a grant from HUD for $40,000 to build a fire station at KSBW Tower above Mount Madonna Park.
Oh.
And Bob Rice was the one who helped us to do that. Excuse me.
Up. You're okay. Up in Mount Madonna.
Yes.
That's
well,
right.
it's above Mount Madonna Park on Summit Road. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it was right at the base of the tower, and the KSBW owned that property, and they allowed us to lease it and use the HUD money from Santa Clara County to build that fire station there. Oh. And then after that, we got funding for and training through CAL FIRE.
Is it still there?
As far as I know, it is. I've been gone for 15 years, so I would assume the neighbors would keep that going. That took an awful lot of hard work, and we were told we couldn't do it.
So that was
it done.
At the top of Mount Madonna, pretty much?
It's on Summit Road.
Okay.
If you drive through Mount Madonna Park, up into the dirt section of road up there.
Is that on the way to where the school is up there?
It's past the school.
Past the school.
It's about 3/4 of a mile past the school. There's a gate, and the pavement runs out. And then that Summit Road goes through to the 17 on the other side where there's another gate. It's called, the last I heard, and the thing we fought all the time was it was a county road, supposedly supposed to be open, but it was maintained by the residents. Nobody ever put any money into that road but the residents.
It was
at
all
the time I lived
dirt
there.
road at the time?
Yeah, and maintained by us with our tractors and the whole bit. Yeah.
Wow.
It was pretty wild up there.
Yeah. Did you
I
drive?
liked it.
Did you drive a tractor?
Oh, whatever I needed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, of course.
You had a fire truck?
Oh boy, did we have fire trucks! You betcha.
Oh.
The first fire truck was a little Dodge Power Wagon.
Power wagon.
And that eventually became our chief's vehicle, kind of. And then we got a old fire service engine that was given to us, donated to us.
Wow.
And then we got a big water tender from the airport, which was totally unsafe, but there are 2 or 3 of us who could drive it and get it where we needed.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So anyway, how long were you there doing that, fire chief stuff?
I stayed there till 2004.
But you still had your ranch, is that right?
I did, but then I went through a divorce and lost my ranch.
Oh.
I, at that time, was finishing my degree in fire science technology at Mission College, and I was asked by them to teach wildland fire and over-the-side rescue. So that was a lot of fun to teach, along with CAL FIRE. And then I taught CPR and first aid and things like that with at CAL FIRE and with CAL FIRE. And for also started all the volunteer organizations in Santa Clara County. With a couple of their fire chiefs, I got together and we started an organization for all the volunteer groups in Santa Clara County so they could get training and coordinate that with CAL FIRE and work together to do that.
Okay.
And then I came to live in Sand City.
All right. Well, we'll touch on that in a minute. We're going to take a little break, and hopefully I'm going to fix the titling within that time and a couple other little things. So let's do this. We'll take that out of here. I'm Jim Vossen. This is Community Chit Chat. We're here on Saturday and Wednesday mornings from 9 to 10. My guest today is Sand City Council member Libby Sofer, and we will be back as soon as I figure out how to do something. I know what I want to do. We're going to fade me to black like that. We're going to pull her mic down. We're going to do something like this. I got it all figured out. I need an engineer or something like that. KMBY Monterey. Hi, Jim Vossen here for the Sand City Chamber of Commerce. Sand City is well known for its large art community. Check out sandcityartworld.com. Sand City is also known for its industrial businesses like Disaster Cleanup, Floor Store USA, Cypress Cabinets, A&R Plumbing, and many more. Yes, Sand City has 2 shopping centers with Costco, Office Depot, Target, Home Goods, not to mention the 2 new burger places, Five Guys and Habit Burger Grill. Plus my favorite place, McDonald's. Love that quarter pounder. Check out sandcityshopping.com. Sand City has a giant development in the works, including lots of apartments and a hotel or 2. For more great information about Sand City, check out sandcitycalifornia.com. That's sandcitycalifornia.com. All of this and more brought to you by the Sand City Chamber of Commerce. Not a member? Join today. Call 394-6501. Hi, Jim Vossen here for the Monterey Chamber of Commerce. If you are looking for a great place to dine in Monterey, like the old Fisherman's Grotto on Fisherman's Wharf, check out MontereyEatPlayAndStay.com. If you are looking for a great place to play in Monterey, like Cannery Row, check out MontereyEatPlayAndStay.com. If you are looking for a great place to stay in Monterey, like the Portola Plaza or the Monterey Tides on the beach next door to Seaside, check out MontereyEatPlayAndStay.com. If you are looking for cars, car parts, body shops, car clubs, etc., check out MontereyCarChannel.com. It's quite interesting and fun. For more great information about Monterey, check out MontereyCalifornia.us. That's MontereyCalifornia.us. All of this and more brought to you by the Monterey Chamber of Commerce. Not a member? Join today. Call 394-6501.
Hey, buddy, how about us making us a deal?
How much wiggle room we got on the price?
Wiggle room? I'll show you wiggle room. Wiggle, wiggle, whoa. Wiggle, wiggle, whoa. Wiggle, wiggle, ooh, wah, ooh. Wiggle, wiggle, wah. Wiggle, wiggle, woo. How's that? Huh? We got us a deal going. Wiggle, wiggle, whoa. Wiggle, wiggle, whoa. Wiggle, wiggle.
Tired of being badgered? For a better way and a better deal, come to the Seaside Auto Center in Seaside. Looking for a new or used car, van, or truck? Come to Seaside, the Motor City capital of the Central Coast. With over 20 new and used car dealers featuring over 30 makes, more than any other central location on the Central Coast. Save time and money. Get a deal that's real. Come to Seaside first, the Motor City capital of the Central Coast. Check us out online at SeasideAutoDealers.com. That's SeasideAutoDealers.com. That's SeasideAutoDealers.com. All right. Well, I got that part, and I think I've corrected the titling and adjusted the microphone. Somehow I did that. Luckily, I put in an extra minute spot. This is, by the way, just for your curiosity, Community Chit Chat on Saturday and Wednesday mornings from 9 to 10. My guest today is, if I may, I'll bring her in like so. There you are, and I'm back up in the corner. And let's make sure I did this titling correctly. Did I do Sand City? How's that look? Did I do that okay? Now, by the way, I actually have to create a whole new one. So I had to start all over while I did that.
You're quick.
Well, what can I say? All right. we're going to get you just a little bit more looking towards the mic, talking towards the mic. You're okay. Just I got got your volume all the way up, and you're not a soft-spoken person.
No,
I can't say that.
Never been accused
I can't
of being
say that.
soft-spoken.
There we go. Oh, soft-spoken. All right. So now you mentioned something as we went off to break there, something about the art. Now let me back up. Then, were you doing some kind of art up in back down up in the hills, the Santa Cruz Mountains and stuff? Were you doing then art or not?
I've always done art.
Uh-huh.
And
what kind of art?
I'd call it an addiction rather than,
Oh.
But everything. I just am an artist.
Okay.
I can't seem to help it.
Like
but
painting or
I
sculpture?
did. I made a living with my daughter for a while. I ran Brightwater Design, and what we did mostly was we sandblasted big, huge signs for ranches that go over the driveway.
Oh.
Like when you gallop up to the ranch. And
Yeah,
there's a big,
yeah. Bob's Ranch, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, no, I know. Oh, yeah.
But we ran a sign shop, and we could do that up there on the mountain because nobody cared about the noise from the sandblaster, and you could make a real mess. So I enjoyed it very much. So
Now, is that is that in place? I know that you can do signs with routers.
yeah, I'm a wood carver too.
Okay.
So I carved a lot of these big signs. I also, as I said, used a sandblaster, a big one, to do that. And then we put the gold on the fire trucks and signs on people's, vehicles. And we'd go downtown and work on like a fleet of vehicles.
When you did the
put
sandblast,
the vinyl on them.
when you did the sandblasting, okay, do you have templates?
I made whatever I needed.
Okay.
I can draw or
Okay.
carve or make whatever I need. So yes, I actually had a big cutting machine to cut the vinyl, and we did cut some big stencils and things.
I missed an opportunity.
But we actually, we'd get online, and my daughter did a lot of this, and we'd look at things we liked, and then we'd print them out and draw them, and then we'd blow them up and draw them bigger, and then we'd carve them. And
so you talk about your
we
daughter.
designed it.
Where's your daughter these days?
My daughter works for the city of Corte Madera in the planning department. That daughter does. I have two daughters.
Over in,
she's in the planning department
over
up
in
there
Marin County.
Yeah, up in San Rafael kind of area.
And you have another daughter?
I have another daughter who lives in Paradise, and
You mean Seaside?
No, I mean.
Paradise.
Paradise,
where
California.
with the fire up there.
That's correct.
Oh, boy.
She and her husband were actually, for a short time, firefighters when they lived up on the mountain with me.
Oh.
And then they lived up in Paradise, and they did lose their home. They have two sons, but the four of them got out of there, in the long line of cars where people were having some very scary stuff happening. But they did all the right things and made it out. They're just finishing their house. Yeah. So I still have my two kids.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, good. Just out of curiosity, do you do that Zoom thing?
We do that Zoom thing
Skype,
for our meeting. We do the Zoom things. I've never done it before, but our new city manager, Aaron, had set it up, and we did that for the last city council meeting. We're going to do that again on Tuesday evening.
All right.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? You do that with a laptop that has a camera on it?
I used my iPad.
Oh,
and,
iPad.
I did. I used my iPad, and you dial up. In our case, I think there was a link.
A link.
And then there's a number that you put in.
Okay.
And it's kind of like that game, Hollywood Squares, where everybody has a square.
Uh-huh.
And you try to be clever about what's behind you because everybody else is a little
Is
snoopy.
Is somebody controlling that?
Yeah,
Is
Aaron Blair did.
Aaron?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
He's coming along great.
So he has like a master control for that.
He must have. I have not seen how he did that. I did that from my office at home. So
Probably gonna make me look like an amateur.
He makes me look like an amateur for sure.
All right, so let's move you on up here to Sand City. What year did you come to Sand City?
I came to Sand City in 2004, And when I came, I had met Kelly Morgan, who was the city manager, and I met him by working on his boat down in Moss Landing.
Oh.
And then he roped me into working on these little houses he bought, the one next door, the one he was living in. And I came to Sand City to help him remodel it and do a lot of the hard labor and stuff, because I do pretty good house building skills. And we got that done, and he asked me to move into it with him, so I did.
Do you have a hammer?
I come with a hammer. I come with a whole set of tools.
You
Believe me.
You have a tool belt?
Oh boy, yeah, I come with the whole gear.
Well,
Yep.
I'm kind of like that.
I had to bring most of my ranch after we sold the horses, and most of my tools down with me, and I rented his garage from him for a while to, and that set up a shop. And then he said, well, then why don't you just fix up my house, since you're working out of my shop anyway.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, now, you got into art. How long you been into art now? Oh, well, you were in art back up in the hills.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing
I've
that,
always
and you're
been
doing
in
that,
art.
As
a matter of fact, when I worked in the outer space industry, I got hired as a technical...
Hold it.
Technical
Hold
illustrator.
it. You mentioned something in the outer space industry. When
Yeah.
did you have time to do that?
I started there in 1986, just after the Challenger blew up, and I was hired to do technical illustrations for the Titan recovery program. The Titans were the two rockets on the side of the shuttle.
Now, you say technical illustrations.
Yeah.
That sounds like drawing or something.
It is. It's like drafting, except you're
Okay.
drafting the parts for technical things. Like I was doing drawings of the rocket motors and the voids in the rocket motors that caused the rocket motor to, blow up, and the O-rings and things. And anyway, I was drawing whatever the engineers needed. So you need to be able to read blueprints, and you need to be able to understand the mechanics of how things work in order to do that.
Were you doing this by hand, or did you have a
I
computer
did.
program?
No, I did it all by hand with a repeatograph and a straight edge and
A repeatograph.
accurate measurements.
What's a repeatograph?
It's a pen.
Oh, it's a special kind
a
of pen?
technical pen.
A technical pen.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a long word.
You draw them with pencil and then you ink them.
Oh, okay. All right. Anyway. Well, okay. So how long did you do that?
I worked through several programs there until I became I went from technical illustrator to program analyst scheduler.
Okay.
And ended up working for the head of all outer space maneuvering systems that were being produced in the United States, and his name was Fred Wittenberg. I worked for him for, I left the technical I guess the very last thing I did were some outer space posters for them, and I left about 2002. I guess.
Okay.
But I was a contractor a lot of that time.
Okay.
So I came and went a couple of times.
But now, I would have to say that sounds like one of your most unusual jobs you ever had. Would you agree with that or not?
I would agree with that. Yes, packing mules was also unusual. But yes, that was one.
When you said packing mules into a suitcase, what?
No.
What do you mean packing mules?
That would be the other extreme. I went from the extreme of being raised in a little clapboard house with no hot and cold running water to working on the outer space industry. Yeah, they're incredible extremes.
Right,
and to me, both of them are still quite...
What's packing mules? What is packing mules? What is that?
I used to pack water tanks and firefighting gear on mules when I was 12, 13, 14 in the summer for my dad.
Wow.
For the Forest Service.
Okay. What do you mean? The mules have hoses and stuff like that?
Whatever yes.
Oh, really?
Whatever is heavy that the firefighters didn't want to carry in, we'd carry in with the mules, including gear for them to cook and eat and supplies. Yeah.
Hey, just
It's a long time ago. Hard
just
to
a
remember.
side note on going back to your having horses and so on,
Yeah.
and you're riding horses and all that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, horses, they're not a dumb animal, are they? They're pretty smart sometimes.
They're really stupid sometimes,
Are they
and
really?
they are incredibly smart sometimes.
Oh.
Yeah, I had a black mare that if you didn't get down to the barn by 6:30 to feed her, she'd remove the door of the stall.
Oh.
And she'd still be standing in the stall, but everything would be wrecked. So you'd better be on time to feed her, and that's smart. She also didn't like little kids. But if you put an apple on the top of the fence post and tell her, you give that kid a ride and you behave yourself, you can have the apple, she'd do that. So, yeah,
Well,
they're smart.
You know, years and years and years ago, I was a kid, and up in Daly City, and they had a one of these places where you can go and rent a horse and go riding around the beach and stuff. And I remember the manager there told me, on this horse, never get off the horse.
Yeah.
Never get off the horse. And I made a mistake. I
You're
got off the
walking.
horse, and I went to go get back on, and he would do this thing where he wanted to lay down.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? He wanted, he had my number, didn't he?
Well, he figured you were done. If you got off the horse, you were done with the ride, and it wasn't fair to start that up again.
Oh.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? Okay.
I had a stallion that this kid came and bragged he was kind of a rough kid, and bragged he could ride anything. And and he climbed on this. The horse was 28 years old. He was smart. Anyway, as soon as that kid climbed on him, and I'd never seen him do that ever before, he just laid down. That was it. He wasn't going to let this kid ride him.
Huh.
Probably
And
for
by the way,
bragging.
if you're starting to get on the horse and he wants to lay down and he's aiming towards you, you move out of the way.
Well, you certainly get your leg out of there.
I
that's for
sure, yeah.
They're
So-
heavy.
All right, so let's come down to Sand City. excuse me.
Okay, back to Sand City.
Sand City. And by the way, when was Sand City became a city?
I think 70. Well, I don't want to.
Oh,
I don't want to say
wrong
something
date.
wrong here, but it was in the 70s. 76 comes
Okay.
to mind.
all right.
I don't know that.
Okay.
I should know that, and
That's okay. That's
but
all
I'm a dyslexic, and numbers I
we'll
have to
forgive you.
check them before I repeat them.
So you told me you came down here and you were working on if I may say at that time he was the city administrator.
Yes,
Is that right?
Kelly Morgan.
Kelly
yes.
Morgan, right? And Kelly had a boat down at in Moss Landing.
He had a 38-foot sailing yacht. Yes.
Wow, that's pretty
Scared
good size.
me to death, but I did all the maintenance on it
Yeah.
until he sold it like 2 years ago, and he's in his 80s, so he
Yeah.
pushed it for a long time.
Did
it was
he?
a fast boat.
Did-
Scary stuff.
Did you go out on it? in
Yeah,
time?
I did, and then I came to not like it so much.
Those are the kind of things that they lean over to the side,
Oh
don't
boy, yeah, it's not a pony.
I don't like that thing.
Yeah. He really enjoyed it, so I did everything I could to help him. You
Yeah.
know, I think one of the reasons we started dating was that I carved him a figurehead for his boat,
they? Oh,
just because I'd always wanted to carve one. And his boat was named High Strung, so I
High-strung.
carved a high-strung pony to put on the mast for him. You know, that's how I kind of met
so
him.
did
was-
you ever have a wood burning set? Those little things that you can
Yeah.
you heat up and you can
I
write your-
didn't
you write
use
your
it a
name?
lot,
Yeah.
but my brother set fire to things with one a lot. Yeah.
Well, that's nice to know. Yeah.
Yes, you asked.
Yeah, I did. You know, I shouldn't tell people this, but you know, if you take a wooden match head
Yes.
and you tie a real thin copper wire, take some wire and take just the strand out of it, and you tie that around that, and then you put maybe a little toggle switch between that and a little 9-volt battery, and you turn it on.
Sound just
That-
like my brother.
That match will light up like nothing, you know.
Yep.
Boom. Yeah. Okay. That
And then there's the train transformer. Never mind.
Oh.
Never mind.
the train transfer.
Okay, back to Sand City.
Oh, so yeah. if
Let's
I-
talk about
yeah,
the
Sa-
art in Sand City.
Art now, yeah, because Sand City is known as a really, kind of an art world itself.
It is.
It really is an art and industrial area. All different types of art.
And services and the businesses in our little town over there, and I should
Yeah.
say little because people get offended, but it is a small town on this peninsula. And we have a huge impact, and one of the major reasons is because we have all these support necessary industries like
Right.
we must have 20 plumbers.
I was just going to say, yeah.
So if you need a good
Yeah.
plumber,
Yeah.
and I am so proud of the little businesses, and a lot of the little businesses are also artists.
Uh-huh.
And they do things like Fred Saunders, who has Sculpture Works, and he does all the wrought iron all over PG and Carmel, and everybody knows him. You know, our artists and our industry are extremely connected. They, in some cases, are one and the same. You have Coastal Fabrication over there that orders in the materials and things, and then the artists go and get their metal there, and you know, it's all integrated.
Yeah.
And we also have some incredibly fine artists there, and we've just allocated the money for something that we were going to be doing for the West End, if that still happens. And that has to do with murals all over the town. The new city manager, Aaron Blair, came from a place in Colorado. I think it's Granby, Colorado, where they did a project like that, he and his wife. And she was working with the Chamber of Commerce there.
Yeah.
I don't want to speak too much for them, but that's what I know about it. And they did a really terrific project with these murals. And we're working very hard at that.
Yeah. Well, are you when we have the West End celebration, and we don't know if it's coming this year. We hope so, right?
You're in it with me, Jim. You're there every year.
Yeah. And but do you have anything on display at the times when you
I have in the past. I had a studio on the corner, and I opened it up, and then we got into having a music venue, and then we
that's
got
right.
boy, we had the best band. We had Rollin' and Tumblin' there and a couple of other bands. We had Blues on the Rocks and a young man, I can't recall his name, unfortunately, who played. But we had several good bands there over the years, over the 15
Rollin'
years or
and
something.
Tumblin', that's the name of the
Rollin'
band?
and Tumblin', Patrick
Okay.
Dooley, and and he has passed away. But the band was, in my opinion, one of the very best ones around here, like Red Beans and Rice. You know, it's just was part of the venue in Monterey.
Right.
And unfortunately, the last year we couldn't have the band anymore because we became an attractive nuisance.
An attractive
we caused a traffic jam on the corner because the music was the best in town. So basically, we support the West End because we are in the middle of it, and it's what the city wants. We want that flavor. We want that.
Yeah.
We want creativeness.
If in fact it happens this year,
Yeah.
what number will that be? Is that like number 19 or 20 or?
Good grief. Well,
Oh, sorry. Did I do that?
yeah, there we do again. I
Oh.
don't know. I know that Kelly Morgan and Todd Kruper and Greg Hawthorne and a number of other people who are still around, although Todd Kruper, who was a council member, moved to Eureka area. They
Right.
started it, and I know that Kelly, so it's got to be almost 20 years ago.
Really?
Am I
So
wrong?
somewhere around there, yeah.
Yeah, it's been going on a long time, and it's been every year.
Wow.
I'll have
And-
to go find out exactly how many years. That's an interesting.
And do you know who started that? Who?
Well, like I said, it was a
What?
concept of Kelly Morgan, Todd Kruper,
Okay.
Greg
Right, I got you.
Hawthorne.
Okay.
Greg Hawthorne is a well-known artist. He's also on our
Right.
city council now.
He's a member of our chamber.
Yeah, but it couldn't have been done without. The reason there are so many artists in Sand City was because for a long time they could afford to rent in the warehouses and things there. And we're trying to keep it so that we can keep our artists, because it is always a balance between rent and leases for working spaces. But in this area, there are big warehouse areas there for artists to make large sculptures. Like Hawthorne makes very big sculptures, like the one in front of the Independent, and a lot of the people who produce that work for other artists are in our city as well. They're fabricators, etc.
All right. So let's do this. We've talked a little bit about art. I'm sure there's a lot more we can talk, but I'd love to talk about the city,
Okay.
what's going on. We'll take a small break. We'll come back, and then what? We'll come bring me in here, grab you down here, and I got to figure out how to do all this stuff because it's and obviously that's not my name up there. Let's take that out of here. All right, I got that, and we do this something in the order of. I'll get it. My controls are somewhere here. Here we go. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more
KMBY Monterey.
Hi, Jim Vossen here for the Delray Oaks Chamber of Commerce. If you have never been to Delray Oaks before, it is well worth coming by. About 20 years ago, a young gentleman took on the task of counting all the trees in Delray Oaks. He's still counting them today. There's a great and famous restaurant in Delray Oaks called Tarpey's. And of course, they have a Starbucks and a Jack in the Box and a large Safeway. There is also a special place where people come from miles around to look at a large frog population. If you need your spirits lifted, there is the beautiful Church of the Oaks. Check out their website, churchoftheoaks.com. And if you're in the neighborhood, stop by and say hi to my good friend, Reverend Dr. Robert Helen. To find out more about Delray Oaks, check out delrayoakscalifornia.com. That's delrayoakscalifornia.com. Brought to you by the Delray Oaks Chamber of Commerce. To join the chamber, call 394-6501. Hi, Jim Vossen here for the Sand City Chamber of Commerce. Sand City is well known for its large art community. Check out sandcityartworld.com. Sand City is also known for its industrial businesses like Disaster Cleanup, Floor Store USA, Cypress Cabinets, A&R Plumbing, and many more. Yes, Sand City has 2 shopping centers with Costco, Office Depot, Target, Home Goods, not to mention the 2 new burger places, Five Guys and Habit Burger Grill. Plus my favorite place, McDonald's. Love that quarter pounder. Check out sandcityshopping.com. Sand City has a giant development in the works, including lots of apartments and a hotel or 2. For more great information about Sand City, check out sandcitycalifornia.com. That's sandcitycalifornia.com. All of this and more brought to you by the Sand City Chamber of Commerce. Not a member? Join today. Call 394-6501. All right, we're back. Gonna wrap this little guy up. I'm Jim Vossen, VS Victor OSSCN. You got me here. We're here with Community Chit Chat. We have a special guest in our studio, live and in studio. Libby Sofer, who is am I pronouncing your last name correctly?
Yeah,
I am.
That's correct.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure I don't do that. I want to make sure that it's just one F, not 2.
That's correct.
And we're here. And we're talking, she is the council member from Sand City, council person. Who's Mayor Pro Tem? Do you have a Mayor Pro Tem?
Who's our mayor?
Mayor Pro Tem. You don't have a thing like that?
No, we have a vice mayor.
Oh, vice mayor.
So the mayor is Mary Ann Carbone.
Right.
And the vice mayor is Jerry Blackwelder.
Okay, all right. So you call it vice. See, they over in Seaside, it's Mayor Pro Tem.
I see.
I don't know. Anyway, now see, they used to have a vice mayor, and that was when Seaside had a lot of vice.
Ah,
and
I'm not going there. I get along with Seaside pretty good so far.
So far, Sand City and Seaside have had their issues in the past.
Yeah, they're sister cities, I guess, in the sense that they're right next door to each other.
And I've heard stories, but I
share
don't know
in the same room, But no, it's a struggle for everybody, and working together is where it's at.
You and Kelly Morgan, who was the city administrator, you got married when, if I may?
We did not get married.
Oh, you're not married? You're partners?
No, we're living in sin.
Okay, I'm sorry. That's all right.
It doesn't bother me.
But you've been together.
Bothers a lot of other people.
It doesn't bother me at all. It doesn't bother me.
No, that's what he wanted to do. So.
No, that's...
Still having fun after all these years.
No, don't get me... What can I say?
I don't know. You stepped in it.
I sure did.
Well, but by the same token, nobody's hiding it either.
Yeah. No.
You wanted
And
to know there.
and
One thing, if you ask me a question, and probably if you want to know or not, I'll probably tell you the truth.
Yeah. Well, so the question is, how long have you been together?
We have been together since 2004.
2004.
Well, I met him in 2000, but I started
Right.
dating him in 2004, and I started living with him
Okay.
in 2006.
Okay. All right. Okay. In sin.
Oh, yeah.
I just.
The rest is none of your business.
No, help me, Lord, help me. Whoever. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Sand City. Sand City has had a developer there, the Orozco family, for quite some years, and Don Orozco, the father, I've met him a few times. Seems like a real nice guy.
Yeah,
I like him.
acquaintance, yeah.
And I had some little differences with his son Patrick at times. He had different ideas at one time with the chamber. He wanted to rename us. At that time, we were the Seaside Sand City Chamber. He wanted to rename it CSAN, Chamber of Commerce.
Huh.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I was vice president at the time, and I was about screaming my head off.
Okay.
But anyway, that's another story. But otherwise, he's a nice guy. He's married. I guess lives down in Big Sur. Does that sound about right?
I don't know a lot about where Don Orozco's children are now.
Oh,
I got along with Pat pretty good when he was working at the Independent, and he had a farmers market and stuff going there, which I really supported and thought was good. Yeah. I don't know exactly what happened there.
We actually signed, our chamber signed for their alcohol permit.
Well, and we have Post No Bills, which is one of the coolest places. A lot of people come to Post No Bills, which is a place where they sell beer.
No, that's not
a local
not
pub.
the original owner. Is there a new owner? Or in the last
No,
few
I
years?
believe DBO, which is the Don Orozco's group. DBO owns the Independent.
Right.
But it's managed by a management
No, I'm
company.
talking about the Post No Bills.
Oh, Post No Bills is there. Oh, yes.
But that's but it originally started with somebody else, I believe, and then it had a
I
new
don't
manager.
know.
Oh, okay. A new
I
owner?
don't know. I've known the two young men who seem to own it since it started,
All right.
and they seem to be there. But who actually owns it, I wouldn't know.
I guess they been open during this time? Don't know.
No, I don't believe they have been.
No. And how about some of the stores? Costco is open, of course.
Costco is open.
But Marshall's
and
is closed.
Yes, because they're non-essential. So Costco and Lucky's have been open, and Target, I think, because they have pharmacies and food.
Right.
And that is, and believe me, it can get to be a madhouse over there. I've not gone into Costco just because it was just too many people, and my partners, and I are in the age group where we're supposed to be careful.
Yeah.
So
last time
I've been to Lucky's, and I
last time I
can't
was
say
at
enough
Target.
about how hard those people are working.
I was
in
just to say, last time
Lucky's.
I was at Target, if I may,
Yeah.
they were actually allowing you in space wise. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, one, and then
Yeah.
little later another person, and so on. They weren't.
Well, and I'm careful to go early in the morning because I've got not just myself to protect, but my partner as well. So I go early in the morning, and then I come back and change my clothes and wash off and take a shower and the whole bit.
Really? You? Oh, wow.
Heck yeah.
Well, because
Why
you're
would
in
I
that.
take
Yeah,
chances?
I understand. All right.
I hit too close to home already.
Now,
Thank you.
so there's this new development in Sand City, which has taken a long time. Well, let's go with the other development. What's going on with the Eco Resort?
The Eco Resort.
Eco Resort, excuse me.
As in ecology.
Ecology,
Yeah.
not ecology.
The Eco Resort.
Yes.
2 or 3 council meetings ago, Ed Gondor did come in, and he asked for an extension. That's all I really know. We did give it to him, and I did ask him, are we really going to build this thing? because that's how I am.
Well, there originally
and
some
he said yes.
There
That's
originally
all I can tell you.
Originally, some problems with I understand with the coastal commission and all that kind of stuff. We're past that, aren't we?
Yes.
We're past that.
Supposedly, yes.
But
he had parked some vehicles out there, and they made him remove it.
Oh, like the motorhome
The
thing?
motorhome.
Oh.
And so now there is absolutely, and the tractors. So I do not know any more about that at
what's
this
going on?
point. You know what I know.
All right.
But I'm sure the city council will hear about it in good time, pretty quick,
All
probably.
right. So now the big project.
Back to DBO. DBO
Yes.
is supposed to be starting the South of Tioga project, and I think they're in the environmental review phase.
Environmental review phase. And that is that through
It
with
has something to do with the take for the wildflowers and some things. They gotta,
yeah.
that's
Yeah.
you'll probably know more about that than I
Yeah.
do too. But it is coming up on our agenda on Tuesday evening for that DBO wants an extension, and I don't know a lot more about that.
Now, originally, my idea, or what I thought I knew about that area, was that there was going to be, hopefully, I guess, a lot of live and work.
Oh,
home.
absolutely.
Businesses kind of with living above, business on the bottom.
Well,
And
that's two different parts of town.
Yeah.
Because where Costco is and the South of Tioga is going to be a hotel, condominiums, and apartments.
Right.
But over where I live on the other end of town,
Yes.
which is the southwest,
Okay.
is it? Yeah, kind of southwest.
West End.
Yeah, it's the West End.
We'll use the term
That's all.
West End.
That's all mixed use.
Okay.
And mixed use is where you have, hopefully, we can keep our artists that way. Some of them where they're able to work up or work downstairs and have either a store or a workspace, and then live up above, like they do in Europe a lot.
So there are plans for that to do
Oh,
more.
yes.
Of that?
Oh yes, it's all designated to be that. Yes.
Okay. But that would involve tearing some things down because there's not like a lot of land there, right?
That's correct. And some of the older structures are warehouses.
So like, well, for
And,
example, your two houses.
Our two houses in the long run should go away, and there should be a 6-story mixed-use building on that
Wow.
corner with stores on the bottom. That's the truth.
No,
yes,
that's-
because otherwise it's a waste of property. And the whole goal here has to do with trying to keep people in the area that they live and work, keeping it together. Cuts down on the commute. It cuts down on the pollution. It just changes the dynamics of neighborhoods and makes them more friendly and more human oriented rather than car oriented. Or you don't need so many big shipping vehicles coming through your town if you have all the smaller resources in place to service each other on a local level instead of having to truck. Right now, we truck a lot of things into and through Sand City because we have industry where other people have residential, and we support the residential and the hotels in this area of Monterey, or in all of Monterey, between here and Salinas. Otherwise, they'd have to go for their services to Salinas. We're going to transition that into more people and more living in the city, and that they have to have homes. You can't build big single-family dwellings there. It just doesn't make sense to use your footprint that way. We're going to have a real good transit come through there, according to TAMSI. So very soon, they've got the funding and stuff for it, supposedly.
Well, originally there was supposed to be, if I'm not mistaken, there was going to be a kind of hub.
Yes.
Where Icky Ricky restaurant is?
Yes.
Is that still in the plans?
Yes, but we, of course, have to work with Seaside to do that.
Yeah.
Because Itchy Ricky is in Seaside. This intersection out here is very complex.
Yes, it is.
And what it should maybe be, and I don't want to start a big old controversy, but I will, and that is it should be a roundabout. And if they did a roundabout here and then another roundabout down at the other end where Costco is, where Seaside and Sand City come together, you could have the commuter buses going down the old Del Monte track there. And you could have a bicycle track that goes to the high school.
I just
You
realized.
could have all this stuff could be integrated.
I just realized our time's gone by too fast. Can I get you back? Can I batch you sometime? Get the city manager in here sometime?
Oh, let's get our new city manager in here.
And
He deserves it. If I had to do this, he certainly has to.
Well, you didn't have to do it. All right. Libby, Sofer, I want to thank you very much for joining me today on Community Chit Chat. I hope that you enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Good. All right, hang tight. We'll do this. I'm Jim Vossen, and thank you very much for tuning in to Community Chit Chat here on KMBY over the air at 19.4 and on the internet at kmbytv.com. Go out and have yourself a great day.